Hello and welcome back to another review video. Today we will be taking a look at the Black Series Grand Admiral Thrawn and his troops. Those troops being Captain Enoch, a pair of Night Death Troopers, and then of course the specific Night Trooper we did see in the Ahsoka show that had the fully grayed, well, almost fully grayed out helmet. Per usual, I've had these guys new in box for a while now, so I thought I'd finally open them up. Starting with the Grand Admiral himself. The only accessories you get is his blaster. And for the figure itself, he looks pretty good. I'd say the likeness is really good. Mine looks like it might be looking off to his right a little bit, but looks pretty good. Sculpting's good. Doesn't look to be any reuse except maybe the arms from the old Admiral Thrawn. I just checked, and from what I could tell, this part is not reused, but this one I think is. He's definitely got a dad bod. A little chunkier than the old body. He's actually pretty thin. So for articulation, he looks up that far, down that far. There is a ball joint at the neck, but it doesn't move like at all. So it might not even be a ball joint, just another connection point. You can see the gap. So for arms, he can go out that far. Elbow goes up that much. Hand is actually a hinge. See him over here. Can go back pretty far. Forward a decent amount. And then for legs, he does the splits. That piece does not get in the way. Goes that far back. Really good articulation in the feet, it looks like. Just gotta be careful with the peg. You can see a decent amount of gap between those two parts, especially on the back when you move them forward. Yeah, I can't tell if that's gonna break or what if you move it too far, but yeah, definitely watch out for that. There is no thigh cut, but you don't really need it. Would I suggest getting this guy? Definitely, he looks really cool. I personally like the realistic look over the more comic look that the other one had. I like the colors on this one more than the old Thrawn. Just in general, I personally like the live action stuff over the comic or animated stuff. But this guy has pretty good articulation for what it is. It's a lot better than the old one. So I definitely suggest picking this guy up. Now for the Night Death Troopers. So here they are in a box. This is the blaster you get with them. Bit of silver at the end. So for the figure itself, this guy looks awesome. You can see they put a lot of detail into the head. I wish they would have either made a swappable head or another helmet that you could swap out so that you get like the entire unbroken helmet with it, but still with the paint application. But yeah, this guy looks sweet all around. They put a lot of detail. They didn't paint much of the back, which is a disappointment. They definitely didn't paint a single crack gold on here, unlike the front. So comparing the old to the new, the only sculpt these two share are the shoulder pads and the feet themselves. They have the same feet and they have the same shoulder pads. That is it. The rest of it is 100% new. They did use the same mold for the blaster. So for articulation, he looks that far up that far down. There is a ball joint in the neck, but once again, it barely adds any movement. Goes that far out. Yeah, it definitely does not go out that far. I think I might have actually just broke mine because yeah, that's loose now, so definitely do not try to overextend that. So yeah, that's great. Can bend that much with the elbow. The hand is a hinge. Torso. Not much movement in the torso, like, at all. Can do the splits barely. Goes really far back. Decent foot articulation. Goes farther back than forward. There is a thigh swivel. You can actually move the arm out, but just like the 2.0 Clone Trooper, you have to make sure that the end of the shoulder pad is above the chest piece. I was trying to pose this guy, and you can see both legs are actually connected somehow in the ball. Let's stick the blaster in the hand. Pretty easy. I do like how much bulk this guy has over him. He just seemed like way too scrawny. He adds a lot. He looks a lot more realistic because of how bulky he is. I definitely recommend picking these guys up. They're something really unique, and outside the Ahsoka show, I honestly don't think we'll ever be able to get again in Black Series. I don't think the Halloween line's ever just gonna make like straight up dead or zombie stormtroopers. They're for sure never gonna make a Legends Blackwing figure or Blackwing Virus figure. So these guys are awesome, and yes, I definitely recommend picking these guys up. Now for the 2-pack. So here's Enoch out of box. This is his only accessories. This blaster looks pretty cool. I like the gold accents on it. Now for the figure itself, I really like the helmet. That looks really cool. You can tell it has like an Aztec kind of look to it. Or an Egyptian artifact maybe. Overall, the gold, this gold piece is really shiny. I mean, the rest of it's shiny, but that one like really sticks out at me for some reason. There's paint apps all around. There's actually paint on the back for once. And then this piece is definitely going to get in the way. It is just a solid piece. They didn't even put a cut there on either side. And then the holster part is actually molded like directly onto it, so that's really disappointing. Paint apps, it looks like the eyes might be a little misaligned. The red Imperial logos on top definitely are, but the rest, the gold is really good. And it goes all the way around the figure. I've also seen some people complain about this guy's height. There are butterfly joints here, but for some reason there is a lot of gappage right there. So if you move it back, there's a lot of exposed, I guess, cloth or fabric underneath. Like the character's fabric. Yeah. A lot of exposed suit. So for articulation, he can look that far up, that far down. There is a bald neck. So you can get a lot of movement out of those butterfly joints. For some reason this feels really restricted, but this is an O-ring. This one, yeah, this one doesn't seem as restricted. So you can't get them up that much. Really nice elbow bend. Hinge at the hand. Same on this arm, but less restriction there for some reason. Yeah, lots of movement out of the butterfly joint. That's the overlay. So you can go that far back, that far forward. This, yeah, that gets in the way a lot. So that's as far as he can move his legs out. You can still move his knee. which that still kind of gets in the way. And then the foot barely has any articulation. You can turn, but not much back and forth. You can slide his blaster right in the holster, just like so. Or you can just stick it right in his hand. He looks really cool. I really like the look of him, but his articulation is horrible from the waist down. The waist above is great. It's actually better than the average Stormtrooper, but yeah, the waist down is just horrible. First looks out of box. This is the only accessory you get with him, which is fine. It is just a standard Stormtrooper blaster. I don't know why there's no like gunmetal gray paint. It's just flat gray, which is kind of disappointing. For the figure itself, this guy looks really cool. I've seen a lot of people with misaligned eyes, just like Enoch. Which, I mean, for the most part, this looks good. I'd say it just doesn't reach out enough on mine. You can see there's a little part of it unpainted. It looks like, oh yeah, there's a little gap. There is actually paint on the back. You can see the gold cracks. This part's a little smudged. So for articulation, he goes up that far. That's really good. Goes down that far. Pretty good. There is, of course, a ball at the neck. That is an overlay piece. Those are O-rings. Basically the normal updated Stormtrooper. So up that far. Really nice bend. Still a hinge at the hands. Go back that far. Up that far. Pretty kind of close splits. Knee goes back that far. Still not that great foot articulation. Those butterfly joints do add a lot. And you can see it's still the bald Tamara Morrison head sculpt underneath. Slide the blaster in his hand. This guy is really cool. I believe there are rumors that they will be making a Night Trooper Ezra in disguise, which to me would really suck if they just reused that same body, and I think it was the same helmet too, so it'd suck to me if it was just the same exact figure of the head underneath for Ezra, because that wouldn't be really different at all. But I really hope they make a lot more like variations of this guy. He is awesome. I definitely suggest getting this 2-pack. It is awesome. The articulation from the waist below on Enoch was definitely a disappointment, but it is what it is. You don't really necessarily need him getting really action-packed poses, but it works for the most part in my opinion. So I would definitely get them if I were you, if you don't already have them. I definitely recommend getting these guys. I think they're a really nice standout on an Imperial shelf. I hope they pump out a couple more variations of the Night Troopers. I really like seeing all these guys in the Ahsoka show. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next season we got to see like Night Trooper undead versions of like Snow Troopers or pilots or Purge Troopers maybe. That'd be really cool, I think. Maybe Shore Troopers or Scout Troopers I think would be really cool too. But I think these figures are really cool. I think they're really awesome. Pretty good articulation for the most part. So if you'd ask me, I would say yes, definitely get these guys. I do not think you'd be disappointed besides the few things that I already talked about earlier on this video. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.